All right, welcome back to the channel. It's always a good day when we're looking at Porsches. And we've got a beautiful 911-991.1 GT3RS. This car came out in 2016. And I love this color. It's the ultraviolet. Wow, I love these cars. Hard to beat a GT3RS. Such a cool car. So cool. Wow, I love these. The engine sounds that this thing makes is unreal. The smoothness of the PDK transmission is just incredible. Very simple spec. This one actually has the comfort seats. It doesn't have the what are they called? You know, the sports seats, the seats that came from the 918. Let's see the exhaust in the back. So the .1, this is a .1, an early model. I don't believe it has the titanium exhaust. That adds another 20 horsepower. That came on the .2 cars. This does have carbon ceramic brakes, PDK transmission, and of course, most importantly, that incredible 4-liter flat six. It's the rear wing. Clear taillights, which I think that was only on the .1s. I don't think the .2s have those. But hey, comment below if I'm wrong. Pilot Cup 2 tires. These cars I think are always going to hold their value. It's just the perfect sports car. Supercar performance, but you still get sports car reliability. It's just phenomenal. Here we have a 996. These weren't as popular because of those headlights right there, the fried egg headlights, but these are growing on me a lot. And it's like really the only obtainable 911 right now that isn't crazy, right? And this one's a GT2. This was in the GT2. You know, this is all car right here. You have to do all the work. Manual transmission. It doesn't have the sophisticated traction control, vehicle dynamic controls that the newer ones have. So you have to be a good driver to drive this car. Yellow is always a good color on a 911. And I believe these had carbon ceramics. This may have been the first GT car with carbon ceramics available to the public from Porsche. I love the slits right there in the rear bumper. I think those look fantastic on the 996. I like this wing. Great looking car. And this is a Speedster. I think it's a Heritage edition. Speedster Heritage, yeah. He has a bunch of Speedsters here. We've got the 997 Speedster, very rare in this color combo. I actually saw another one of these in Greenwich, Connecticut at Porsche Greenwich. But very rare. They only made a handful of these. I guess that's everything in this room though. 2011 911. So we've got a naturally aspirated motor, 400 horsepower, just like in the GTS of that year. And we have one of the G-body Speedsters, or a 930 Speedster, I should say. And again, guys, feel free to correct me if I make a mistake. I'm not Doug DeMuro. I'm just a car geek. Very tasteful in the interior in these. This is before they got too matchy-matchy. There's like just enough blue and black. I like the Speedster stitching on the headrest. The black wheels look good with this car. Very cool. And what's cool about these Speedsters, is your average person isn't going to realize how valuable they are. They're just going to think, oh, that's a nice convertible 911 you have there. They're not going to realize that it's a very rare, highly desirable, limited edition. It's hard to keep up. There's so many different limited editions now. I cannot keep up. But he's got just about every year here. I don't see anything from the 964 era. There is a 930 turbo in the other room. There is a GT2RS, a 2018 2RS that we're going to look at in a second here. We've got the original Speedster over there in the back. This was the Speedster from the 80s, I believe, based on the 930. Very rare, only one of these I've seen. Of course, these were all manual. Let's see, 19, does that say 89? You can see with the glare there. 1989 911 Carrera Speedster. Pretty damn cool. I feel like I see a lot of white Porsches from the 80s. Oh, there's 3 white Porsches here in a row. Here we go, GT2RS. It's a little, that's not the lizard green. I'm not sure what this green is, if this is a paint to sample or if that's a, if you know, comment below. But love the spec. I love that it's very simple inside. It's a Weissig car, has the Weissig package, carbon fiber roof. You know, it doesn't sound as good as a GT3, and I would rather have a GT3 than a 2, but I mean, these, you don't see many of these. There are not many GT2s. So those are the NACA ducts in the hood I was talking about that are on this, but they're not on the GT3 in the corner. But in the newer GT3, the 991.2, they are on that. And I believe they're also on the 992 GT3 that's coming out now. Great angle on this car. And these also come with, some of them come with magnesium wheels. Look at that, tops out at 211 miles an hour. 0 to 60 in 2.7, which it's less than that. It's probably more like, under ideal conditions, it's probably 2.4, 2.5. These cars are nuts. And just the way the launch control works, I mean, on the street, driving in and out through traffic, you can't beat this. You just can't beat this on the street. And it's drivable. It's drivable. Maybe not a daily. You could daily it. People do daily these, but if you're loaded, you've got tons of money, why not? Hell, I'd daily any of these if I could. I think the wing sits up a bit higher than the 3RS wing. Not the new 3RS wing. That thing is sick. Also the exhaust. The exhaust is on the edges versus in the center. On the GT3, the exhaust is in the center. I've got a Carrera GT over here as well as a 4-liter 997, which I covered in a video a couple weeks ago, so check that out. I'll put a link in the description, or I'll put a link in the end. There we go, PDK. Why did that shifter, they should have stuck with that in the 992. I hate they've got that little wonky looking shifter now in the 992. Unfortunately not in the GT3 cars, but I don't like it. It's I like the big muscular shifter. You can see the front, the air intakes there on the sides. Really good looking. I do like the look of the GT2 RS more than the GT3 RS. So this, I believe, was the original Speedster. I think it's a 4-cylinder. I know nothing about these, except it's a beautiful classic car. Manual gearbox. Very simple but timeless interior. Very lightweight. Really old school. If you are ever in Newport, Rhode Island, you got to go over to Portsmouth, the town right next door, and check out this museum, the Newport Car Museum. Here we go. This is a 356A Speedster. So this car is almost 70 years old. Wow. Unreal. That's it for today, guys. I lost track of time doing the voiceover. I'll see you next time. Stay tuned.